I am with Steve. How do you pronounce your surname, Steve?
Swayson.
Svayson of
Yes.
DS Real Estate in the Costa Blanca. You also cover the Costa Calida, is that right?
Yeah. So we cover Costa Calida and Costa Blanca South.
Okay, tell me a little bit about yourself then. You're obviously not from Spain, so
No. So I'm 42 years old. I'm from Belgium. I have also some Dutch roots. Living in Spain now for, let us say, 4 years. And I was a teacher before and now running a real estate company.
okay. And you're in the Costa Blanca. So in the Costa Blanca, they've introduced some regulations, haven't they, to like a test you
Yeah.
have to pass. Just tell me a little bit about that, just whilst we're on the subject.
So last year in October, there was a new law in for the Comunidad Valencia, for the entire Valencian region, so also for Costa Blanca. Um, so we had to do a test. It was like a course we have to follow online in Spanish, around 250 hours. And then afterwards, we needed to do a test and you needed to succeed on that test with around, I think the average was 75% or something. And after you have to do the test, then there was you had to do two insurances, and you need to have an office. So yeah, quite a quite a few new regulations in this area.
Okay, so now tell me a little bit about DS Real Estate.
We work in Costa Blanca South and the Costa Calida. We are a real estate agency working with four people. Myself, my husband, and two girls from Belgium. We speak a lot of languages here, so Spanish, English, Dutch, the Dutch from Holland, the Dutch from Belgium, French, German. So we 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 can help a lot of people here in this area. We're not like the most real estate agencies. It's not only selling a property, but with us it's more like an experience. We give a guidance from A to Z. So it's purchasing a property, but also afterwards we can help people finding a good insurance, a good solicitor. We help them if they have questions. Also, my husband is he's working a lot with interior. He's like more like an interior architect, and so he goes with people to properties, and he can help buying furnitures. We're going with people to furniture shops. We help them choose the colors of the walls. So it's like an entire package of things we do for the people, for our clients.
And it's resales or new developments or both?
It's 50-50. But because the most of our clients are from Belgium and Holland, so most of them buy new builds. Um, Clients from France, Germany, or English clients, it's more resale properties. So in the end, it's 50-50 for us.
Okay. And rentals of any sort?
No, we don't do rentals, but we work together with a couple of rental companies in this area. So we can always introduce a key holder, a renting company to our clients. Because I think from the 2nd of October, also the law about renting out property is changed here in this area. So a lot of new laws. So it's very important that our clients work together with good companies,
Okay.
registered companies. That's very important.
And your office is based in what part of the Costa Blanca?
So our office is based in Los Dulces, and that's Orihuela Costa. So we're next to Torrevieja.
And how are you finding the market so far in your area this year?
It's very busy. It's still very busy. So we came to Spain during COVID, and after COVID, it's only going up. But the market is changing a little bit. Like at the beginning, we were selling, let us say, 95% of all the houses were for holidays or moving to Spain. But now we see more and more younger people, especially from Belgium and Holland, younger people in their 40s who invest in a property. So they want to use it as a holiday home for a couple of weeks a year, and the rest of the year they wanted to rent it out as an investment.
So what's your advice to buyers regarding using local lawyers or gestores or anything like that?
Yeah. So it's very important for us that our clients work with a real lawyer, because in Spain you have a gestor, it's like a solicitor, and you have a real lawyer. Because if you're buying a property, let us say near the sea, like a real holiday home, most of the time there are no problems with the property. Everything is legally built. But if clients want to buy something more inland, like a 50-year-old finca, then there can be some issues. And it's very important that they have a good lawyer that knows all the regulations, that knows the different town halls, and so that clients are very sure when they buy a property, there are no debts on the property and everything is legally built.
And I presume this applies more so to resale properties, no, than
it's
off-plan.
Resale properties, yeah. But also with new builds, like we work with a lawyer office that has a client account. So every payment, like for example, in a new build, you have different stages of payments. We never pay directly to the builder. We always say to our clients, do a deposit on the client's account of the lawyer. Then the lawyer contacts the builder, ask for bank guarantees, and after they give us the bank guarantees, then they get their money, because you have to be very sure. It's Spain. You never know what's going on with a company, so it's very important that we have bank guarantees with new builds.
Where do you see the market going in the next few years? Do you see it going quieter or staying the same?
I don't think it's gonna get more quiet, but the thing is, now there is a lot of new builds going on, especially in the Costa Blanca. But I think because you can feel it already now that the new builds are going down a little bit, and it's moving on from Costa Blanca to Costa Calida, because prices here are getting very expensive. You cannot find an apartment in the Costa Blanca under the 250,000 euros. And that's why it's moving a little to Costa Calida, to the Murcia region, because prices are more lower there. So that's a thing that's going to change in the next couple of years. And I think there's going to be more resale properties also.
What's the difference in terms of what buyers or who buys in the Costa Blanca South and the Costa Calida? Is it essentially the same buyers and it's just based on price, or is it other things?
Well, it are the same nationalities, but the only difference is Costa Calida is it's more quiet there. It's more the Spanish life. Like in summer, June, July, August, it can get very busy, but like in September, it's going down again. So it's more quiet. It's more people who want to have more nature, more green. It's different. Costa Blanca it's always busy, even in wintertime. People come here to play golf, to bike, to hike, to do stuff, even in wintertime. And Costa Calida is more for, I think, also older people. Costa Calida.
That's very interesting. So what would you say are the hotspots at the moment? And I'll explain what I mean by hotspots. I mean, are there any urbanizations or smaller areas that you think are getting a lot of interest at the moment for one reason or another, whether in the Costa Blanca South or the Costa Calida?
Yeah. Like before COVID, Costa Blanca North was the most busiest part. Calpe, Moraira, Denia, Javia. Everyone who was going to Spain was going to the Costa Blanca North. Now it's moving on to the Costa Blanca South, especially the area Torrevieja, Orihuela Costa. There are the most new build projects and the most resale properties on the market. I had a client on Friday. There was a new property on our website. He gave me a phone call. 10 minutes later, it was sold. So it's going very fast here. properties are 1-2 weeks on the market and then they're sold.
So that leads me on to the next question then, which is what challenges are you finding in the market at the moment based on what you're saying?
Finding new listings. That's the
Right.
big problem. Yeah, because we have to be honest. There are a lot of estate agents in this region. And the thing is, our clients from Belgium and Holland, the most of them buy new builds. So the people that we know are not selling properties. And for us, that's the big issue now, finding good listings. Yeah, especially listings for our clients, because most of our clients are looking between 180, 200,000 euros up to 400,000 euros. And most of the properties that are coming on the market are properties in Torrevieja around 100, 120,000 euro. And that's not for our clients. So that's for us the big issue now.
So what advice would you give buyers that are maybe thinking of buying in Costa Blanca South or Costa Calida? What is the thing that they should be thinking about right now? What would be your main advice for them?
It depends. It's depending what they want. If they want to have a holiday home and they like to have the entire year round busy and all the restaurants open, choose for Torrevieja, Orihuela Costa area. The prices are still going up there. Not that much, but they're still going up. If you want to buy an investment, buy Costa Calida, because prices are still very low. And like, for example, Costa Calida, in 1 year time, prices went up with 10, 12%. So it's a good investment.
You're from Belgium, you said, right?
Yeah.
Belgians buy in the Costa Blanca, but they also buy in other areas like the Costa del Sol. What made you decide to move and set up in Costa Blanca as opposed to another part of Spain?
10 years before we moved to Spain, we, because I was a teacher and I had a lot of holidays. So every holiday we came to a part of Spain. And Costa Blanca South, especially Orihuela Costa. I remember I was with my husband on a terrace having a drink, and we said to each other, okay, we can live here. Because you have to have the feeling. We always say to our clients, don't buy too quick. You have to be there for a while. You have to see the environment, live the environment. You have to breathe the environment. And if you have the good feeling, then you need to buy. And we had that feeling in Orihuela Costa.
And are you happy now that you're in Spain?
Yeah, I have no regrets. The only regret I have is that I didn't do it 10 years before. That's the only thing.
So that would be the advice then to a buyer.
That would be the advice.
Don't wait too long.
Don't wait too long. No.
Fantastic. Steve, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I know you've been super busy, so thanks for taking the time out to talk to us. And hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.